Welcome to Soul on Soul with Phinesse. I'm your host, Mr. Phinesse. You know how we do. You know how to Soul Radio. Make sure you follow my Soul Radio on every social media platform, as well as Soul on Soul with the Soul Magazine and the Baltimore Times. Your home for Black news and Black information. So make sure you check that out. My special guest today on the show, I've had the opportunity to listen to their music. We are related in more ways than one.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we'll get involved in that. But
Yes,
you know how we do. We'd like to introduce you to some special hot independent artists, and today is no different than any other. I'd like to welcome to the show Mr. Teddy Bryant, the Soul on Soul Phinesse. Mr. Bryant, what's going on with you, sir?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Just trying to stay busy, stay focused. You know, keep my mind on the prize.
So let's talk about. Let me ask this question right off the bat for folks who may not ever heard of you. Who is Teddy Bryant?
Teddy Bryant is a musician out of Conway, South Carolina. For all those who don't know, that's near Myrtle Beach, Charleston. If you've ever been in those areas for vacation, I grew up here. My father was born here, but he was raised in Queens, New York, and my mother was born in Georgetown. But most of her family's in Rochester, New York, as well. So I grew up watching my father play every other weekend on stage with his band. And that's how things started with me as far as music is concerned. I started writing music at 4 years old, believe it or not. First song was done on a rinky-dinky, broke-down acoustic guitar my mom had. And I wrote a song called Desire, which I will not be doing right now. But nonetheless, my dad, he's real heavy into jazz. His band played basically soul and R&B and funk, but he's a jazz head to the core. Him and my other cousin, Tom the Bomb Rhodes, who also plays amazing flute and trumpet. My dad plays sax. And so we basically grew up in a household to where it was a very fine mixture between jazz, mainly horn players, and then funk, soul, and R&B. It's ranging from the 70s into the 80s. But my favorite album of all time, the first album I remember in my head was The Dude, Quincy Jones. Still is my favorite album of all time. If you've never heard that album, go do that. It will change your life. And ever since then, I knew that, okay, this is what I want to do, because I see my dad doing it every week. You know, just with me, I wanted to be different from just doing covers. I wanted to create my own music. And I kind of got that from Prince and watching, you know, Purple Rain as a kid. I was like, man, he looks cool on stage. I want to do that. So, you know, that's basically where I get my chops from. Is a very, very musical family, and just performing from day one. And from that, you know, borrowing some of my dad's musical chops on just the wonderful music he played in the house. He made sure all the music he played was top notch. It was the best. And from that, you know, me and my older sibling and my younger sibling, we all play instruments. Most of us are horn players off the back, but I kind of took it a little further with, you know, trying to play anything I can get my hands on. So I'm not the best at all instruments. I want to say that off the bat, but I dabble in the instruments that I do play. And so I do my best with whatever I have, you know what I mean? So that's basically how things started. Heavy jazz, heavy R&B. And then I fell in love with Marvin Gaye's voice. And that is what changed my life when it comes to vocals. I never met Marvin. He died the same year I was born, but I feel as if he trained me vocally. It took 20 plus years to get it right. But basically, from trying my best to sing everything that I can find from him, it taught me how to control my vocals and just be unique, be myself. Because today we got a lot of artists who unfortunately sound the same. They sound good, but they're trying to sound like somebody else than just being themselves. And I think that's kind of where, you know, things are getting kind of rolly. But anyways, you know, that's basically where I come from, you know. I always just say, my dad said, if you can sing like Marvin Gaye or Elder Barge, Michael McDonald or James Ingram or Al Jarreau, then you could sing like anybody. You could do whatever you want to do vocally. So that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, that's me, man. I music is in my DNA. It's a God-given gift. You know, Jehovah's blessed me with that. And so I try to do my best to make sure that whatever I create, it's going to help others, you know, and put others in good situations mentally, because we're dealing in a very messed up situation right now in the times that we live in. So that's what I try to do, man. I try to make good music, you know, real music. So that's me.
I like everything you said, but I got to ask you this question. I normally ask of every independent artist that comes on.
Yes,
and
sir.
You named a lot of different elements of soul music.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Teddy, what is your definition of soul music? Your definition, man. Not the textbook, but your definition.
Wow. You messing me up right now. That is, you are messing me up. All right, my definition of soul. Oh man, that's crazy. It's I can't formulate it into one word. My definition of soul would have to be music that can change your life. Music that when you hear it, wherever you are, it takes you from wherever you are. You can be in prison. You can be in the worst place ever. And you hear that song come through a radio or a speaker. It takes you from wherever you are to your happy place. Soul music, though, with that being said, has to come from the core of whoever is presenting the music. It's music that smells like it. It's music that sounds like fried chicken, collard greens, and macaroni and cheese. A good soul food dinner. You asked a question that just can't be answered, fam. I'm telling you, if I were to name an artist, I'll do it this way. If I were to name an artist that perfectly, without a doubt, is in my definition, soul music, that would have to be Marvin Gaye. That would have to be Marvin Gaye. I know some people might feel some kind of way about that. We know, okay, James Brown's the godfather of soul, most definitely. We understand that. And we wouldn't have hip hop without James. We understand all of that. But Marvin, if you can turn off the music and just listen to him sing, no music, and you get goosebumps, you get electric shocks down your back. That's soul music. That's what soul music is supposed to sound like. When you heard Marvin sing, you knew he was going through something. You knew that what's going on, that's something everybody knows, but do you really get the message? Here, My Dear, which is one of my favorite Marvin albums. A lot of people pass on that album. He was going through a divorce. That entire album, you knew he was hurting for real. It wasn't a put on. And he was talking about things that married couples could do to save their marriage. But he did it in such a soulful, wonderful way. One of the best albums most people will put on Marvin is I Want You, the I Want You album. If you can get just a snippet of him singing and a song, man, without any music, that's soul music. The way that you feel when you hear that, that's soul music. Man, yeah, that's all I can really say about that. It's, you know it when you hear it. You know soul music when you hear it. Even if soul music today, I would always say this, doesn't really exist. They try to put nuances on it, neo soul and all these different things. It's just soul music, man. If you feel the same way you feel when you hear your favorite soul track from these new guys, that's soul music. That's my definition. I know it sounds like a bunch of chatter, but that's the best way I can describe that, man.
No, it's actually, it's the question I asked was your definition. So it is what it is. It's nobody else's but yours, and I like that. Before we take our first break, I want to give you the opportunity to share your social media and your website. So can you do that for us, please?
All right. So my social media stuff on Instagram is at Urbyne. That's URBYNE. That's on Twitter and on Instagram. As far as my website, it's not up. It's no longer up anymore. I don't have my original Urbyne.com website up anymore. After I got the deal, everything just runs through really Bandcamp and through the label's website. But you can go on Bandcamp, type in Teddy Bryant, and you will pull up everything that I've done, especially the new album, which definitely get your hands on a copy of that today. Or you can type in NBN Records. That's Nothing But Net Records on Bandcamp as well. And you can pull up all the music there as well. So yeah, come and check me out. If you like what you hear, you want to spend your hard-earned money on the music, do so.
All right. We got more on the way with Mr. Teddy Bryant, so don't go anywhere. You know how we do it, Soul on Soul with Phinesse and Teddy Bryant. We'll be right back.
Your pen in mine, forget these troubling times. Let my low
Welcome back, Soul on Soul with Phinesse. My special guest, Mr. Teddy Bryant, who just gave us an education on soul music and his favorite artist, Marvin Gaye of all time. So you folks that listen to the show on My Soul Radio or listen to the podcast, anywhere you can catch a podcast, especially our home, podbean.com, you know I always ask the artists I interview who their favorite artist is of all time. Well, I'm going to switch that up this evening because I already found out his is Marvin Gaye. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask him to name me his 5 favorite songs of all time. Now, don't get mad if you don't name your song and say, oh, Hugh. So, Mr. Bryant, your 5 favorite songs of all time.
My 5 favorite soul songs of all time. Oh, man. Okay. Number 1 would have to be I Want You by Marvin Gaye. Number two, let's see. I want to get this right. Would have to be man, that's a tough one. I want to keep this low, man. I'm trying to keep it to 5. It would have to be let's go with let me start over. Let me start over because you got questions, man, that I've never heard really somebody ask. It's hard to say what I want to say. So what I'll do is I'll just give you my favorite 5 soul artists because I don't want to get beat up after this interview. So this is what I'll do. My favorite, my
okay.
top 5 male soul artists in my opinion. This is just my opinion now. Number 1 will be Marvin Gaye. Number 2 will be James Ingram. Number 3 would be El DeBarge. Whether you include him in soul or not, El DeBarge is soul music. Mm-hmm. Number 4 is actually Bobby DeBarge, his brother, his older brother. Switch. If you haven't messed with Switch, if you love El, you gotta love Bobby. I'm gonna give you 10. I'm on 4, right?
Yeah, 4. Yep.
Okay. On number 5, y'all can get mad at me all y'all want. Michael McDonald. That's just who in my opinion, Michael McDonald is heavy with it. That's Blue Eyed Soul, but nonetheless, it's soul music, man. Number 6, y'all gonna hate me for this one. Al Jarreau. Al Jarreau is like, he's on my list. I'm sorry, Al Jarreau. These next ones are just everybody's favorites, really. It's Teddy Pendergrass. I mean, you can't have a list without Teddy on. Let's see. Teddy P. Let's go with Maxwell. After Maxwell will be D'Angelo. Mm-hmm. And after D'Angelo, a list wouldn't be a list without Prince. I think Prince is, everybody knows Prince. People like Prince for certain songs. But if you've ever listened to the Parade album, which is the album that came out for Under the Cherry Moon. Of course, Purple Rain is a classic. We already know that. But if you listen to the album and you listen to Prince's range, his range of soul is best proven on his first album, For You. That album sounds like an Earth, Wind, and Fire album. It just does. His blending of his vocals, the way he was able to fluctuate from low to high, and the way he blended the first track is just him a cappella, and it sounds like he's got instruments playing. So yeah, Prince is heavy, and he influences me heavy when it comes to soul music. So that's my 10. Y'all might hate me for that. I got a ton more, but off the cuff, that's all I can really come up with right there. So that's my 10 favorite.
So I'm gonna sit in there. So you know you got Michael Jackson fans coming for you. I just want you to know
no. Because here's the.
I'm just saying.
Here's the thing. Michael is on a whole nother planet.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, somebody just called me. Yeah, Michael Jackson is on a whole nother planet. Okay, it's hard to put him in a top 10 because he's just that good. All right, fine. Let's do this. Jackson 5. That's Soul Mike. Okay, and whether you want to call him the king of pop or not, that's something somebody else gave. Michael is a soul, in my opinion, he's a soul musician. You try to tell me right now, I not even Baby Mike. Let's go in between. When you hear Off the Wall,
the best album of all time,
in my opinion, me and you are on the same level, my friend. In my opinion, yeah, we know what Thriller's done, but it doesn't beat Off the Wall for me.
Off the Wall is the blackest album Michael Jackson ever made.
My man, see, this is why you the man, bro. This is why you the man. Everybody go listen to this show right now. This is who you need to be listening to if you need to know what soul is. Michael his music to me is otherworldly. Don't get me wrong. I understand. Yeah, Quincy producing that out. James Ingram wrote on that album. Stevie Wonder wrote on that album. So we know why we get the vibes we get.
Rod Temperton from Heat Wave.
My man. And don't even get me started on Heat Wave. Okay? Don't even get me started. That's another person I would put in for soul, but they're a group. And it's hard to really box these guys in. So all I can tell you really is when you buy these albums, know who's writing the music, know who's really involved in the stuff. That's when you figure out who is really behind this true soul that the feelings that you'll get, the feeling of being lifted out of your seat by the soul. That's the reason you're getting it from these folks. So yeah, oh man, what was his name? Was Rod Temperton, right?
Rod Temperton.
Yo, he wrote for Quincy. All right, this is Quincy's guy. He pulling. Trust me, Michael's somewhere else. I always put Michael, Prince, and Marvin on this level that no one's ever going to get to again. And it's hard to box these guys in. Do you want to know my top 5 female artists?
No, well, we're gonna take a break. And when we come back, I'm gonna let you do I'm gonna let you do your top 3 because when we come back, I want to get into your album.
Okay, yes,
and
sir.
I'll talk about your influence for your album. All right. So we got more on the way, and see, I'm glad another artist admitted that Phinesse know what he's talking about because I be trying to tell you,
Phinesse is the man. Phinesse is the man. Period.
I try to tell y'all, we ain't gonna hurt you here. We just do what we do. We got more on the way with Teddy Bryant, Soul Soul Phinesse. We'll be right back.
is light. Picking up caramel complexions, melting when we begin to touch. Ooh, it's autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, that autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, that autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, that autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, that autumn love. Visions of you walking through the valley, starry nights. I'm taken by your figure as you smile at me tonight. Sitting by the creek, expressing love shines through the light. I just need you right next to me. Let me hold you tight. Happy, happy you're the one who love me. There's nothing better. All of becomes one when autumn stays. When autumn stays. All of this weather. Autumn takes your fear and all your shade all away. It's so inspiring. Time to come together, baby. To face to face. Give me your loving. Autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, that autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, that autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, that autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, autumn love, that autumn love.
Welcome back, Soul on Soul with Phinesse. I got my special guest, Teddy Bryant. I'm so happy that I get a chance to interview him. But before we even get into his music, I said at the top of the show that he and I have a lot more in common. A lot of you folks understand. Now, I had my cousins on. This is nepotism today on a spiritual level. And the reason why I can say that is because Teddy and I are both this thought about Jehovah's Witnesses, that we don't listen to music, we don't watch comedy, we won't do a lot of things. But how much, Teddy, has that spiritual influence played a part in you doing music?
Honestly, it's my relationship with Jehovah is the most important thing in my life. And it's because of that relationship and understanding where my gift comes from and understanding the power of music is why music is so important to me. And it influences me every moment of my life, every hour, every minute. As we speak, it's up here. There's nothing I can do to control that. And I know that has to come from the Creator, the Almighty God, Jehovah. So it's so amazing to be a part of an organization like Jehovah's Witnesses, and also to have a relationship with the Creator, someone who himself loves music. The angels sing in heaven every day. So I try to use my gift in a way that would make him happy. I try to make sure that my music is clean. I try to make sure that I can make a point without having to go into crazy detail. Music that I can play in front of my father, music that I can play in front of some of these brothers and sisters in my congregation, these old elders that I love so much. I can play my music for them and they enjoy it. And that is only because I have a relationship with the Creator. So, yo, man, I understand people may feel some kind of way, but at the end of the day, you know, I know what I have with the Creator Jehovah is such an amazing thing. And I know that it because of it, I'm even able to do the things that I'm able to do musically. So we have to just stop, congratulating ourselves and patting ourselves on the back sometime, and really humble up and acknowledge why we are the way that we are, why we're good at the things that we're good at, why Phinesse is the man when it comes to soul. It's because it's in his soul, it's in his genetic makeup, and I believe that 100%. I know it's true. King David was a musician. A lot of folks don't know that. If you read the Bible, you'll understand that his harp playing cured the headaches of King Saul. Now imagine that. So yeah, man, I take it extremely seriously. And I look forward to the day where I can play with my brother, Prince, who passed away in 2016, in good standing in Jehovah's eyes. So man, we can go on and on. George Benson, Larry Graham, there's so many wonderful witnesses that love this craft and treat the craft the way in which it should be treated. So much love to Phinesse for showing love to his brother. You my brother for life. You already know that. One love all day long. That's where that is right there, man.
So let's talk about the project now. Is this your first project? Tell us a little bit about it, the name of it, and whatever you want to share with us on that.
This is my first solo project. I've been creating music, I can say now, because I'm 37 years old. I've been putting music together now for well over 25 years. I've been putting music out for over 20 years. But the music that I've been putting out was based with my band Urbyne. Our first album was called Expressions of Love. It's a contemporary jazz album, which I funded all myself. It took years to create because I was broke. We used some of the most broken down pieces of equipment we could to put together music that we were proud of. And it came out and it did well in our eyes, but as time goes on, you get better equipment and you get better equipped. During those times I did, which I got to give a shout out to these guys right now. Must excuse me for this, but I have to do it. They'll kill me. My man, Nick Be Nice, my brother for life. He's an excellent drum player. If you like Questlove, you'll like Nicholas Pathé. Go check him out on Instagram. RJ on bass, also known as Ralph Bunch. You can check him out on Instagram. An amazing bass player. And I can't forget about the Ora sisters, Danielle Webb and Jackie Berger. Those are my backup singers. But the band has changed over the years, and that's where we are now. Back in the day, it was my cousin Corey Johnson, my youngest brother, Darius Bryant, played trumpet. My cousin Caleb Bryant played saxophone. And then, of course, my drummer, Nicholas Pathé, myself, and another brother by the name of Greg Gordino, and a prodigy, a musical prodigy. You won't find any of his stuff online. He's very shy about posting his stuff, but he's brilliant. So shouts out to all of those guys. I love every single one of y'all. And then I experimented with experimental music. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of PM Dawn. Okay, well, I'm one of their biggest fans. I have everything they put out. PM Dawn to me is my favorite duo group. When it comes to the mixture of hip hop, R&B, and experimental soul. And me and my buddy, my drummer Nick Be Nice, we put out three Moonlight Ora albums. The last one of which was called The Fire in the Sky, The Fire Inside Us. So you can check that out anywhere, all platforms. And so once I got done with that last album, which was The Fire Inside Us, COVID hit. My drummer got married, had some kids, so things started slowing up. So I was like, I'm gonna use this time to create my first ever solo project. And basically, in my phone, I bebop stuff and sing stuff out in my phone. I got thousands of stuff like that. So I just went down the first 10 bits that were on the phone. I was like, all right, let's make it into live music. And so that's exactly what I did. And that's how I came up with this album. But here's the funny part. Those bites that I had on my phone were influenced by certain albums. And I have to say these albums. I'll be sure night and day that one of my favorite albums of all time. Ralph Tresvant, Sensitivity. There's nothing you can do to touch these albums. These are gems. Anita Baker, The Rapture. Michael Jackson's Off the Wall. Also, Hall & Oates. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the name of the album, but Hall & Oates. That's whether you like it or not. That's soul music.
I'm assuming that's that. I Can Go For That album.
My man, there you see. Phinesse is the man. He's the man, y'all. And of course, my favorite female artist of all time. And I don't mean favorite because she's got the best vocals ever. I mean favorite because the music she was playing, that her band Pride, what it was used to be called, that was the music that was running through my head as a 5 and 7 year old. Like, and so when my mom played me her first album, which was called Diamond Light, if you don't know who I'm talking about by now, that's Sade. I was hooked. Sade is the only female artist to consecutively put out 4 classic needle dropping albums in a row. So there's no one that can compare to her. So let's stop doing the comparisons. Let's just stop that. And I want to say, if you're listening to the best man when it comes to soul, Phinesse, Sade, which you need to listen to him because he's the man. We have to collab. My first contemporary jazz album was basically a Sade album. It was just me singing it to the best of my ability, you know. And I have so much music that I've written with her in mind that if I just get 24 hours with her in the studio, Phinesse, I'm telling you, it's over. It's over. So that's basically how this album came about. We had the time because of COVID, and I decided to get down. But once I started making it, man, like it gave me a different feel than I was getting from my other albums. The Goosebumps was crazy. It's the connection to like all my stuff that I was listening to as a kid came about in this music. So you'll hear a lot of Quincy, you'll hear a lot of Sade, you'll hear a lot of Marvin, you'll hear a lot of street soul like Carl McIntosh, Loose Ends. If you know who that is, if you don't, please go do that. You know, Maxi Priest, some of the UK soul that a lot of folks pass up on because it's not from the States. Don't do that. Listen to Phinesse and go check these albums out because they will change your life. So that's why a lot of the stuff that's being promoted now is really done in the UK because that's where all the love for this music is at. So that's why I'm so appreciative of you, brother, for doing this, man, because you didn't have to do this. And I got nothing but love for you for this, man. So that's how the album came about. And so far, the comments that I've been getting from the fans, they make you want to cry, man, because they're so beautiful. And just the things they say, you don't believe that music can have that type of effect on people, but I guess it does. Man, I out of confidence, I won't share some of the stuff that was said, but just know that this album is definitely something that came from my soul. And so hopefully you'll feel what I felt while making this album. And I just want this album to put people in their happy place, to take their minds off of the terrible things that are going on around them and put them in a spot that makes them so extremely happy and blissful. And that's all I'm trying to do with this music. And I'm going to continue bringing y'all the best that I can give y'all.
All right. So quickly, we want to get into playing your single before we go into break. What's the name of the new single that you can introduce and we can play it right now?
All right. So the single that you're going to be listening to right now is part of that street soul that I was telling you about. This single is called Are You Lonely? And this is a song based on one of my favorite movies of all time, The Last Dragon, and a special scene that Bruce Leroy had with Vanity. So I hope you enjoy it. Are You Lonely? Let's go.
All right, it's my boy Teddy Bryant right here, Soul on Soul with Phinesse, and we'll be back to wrap things up in just a little bit, so don't go anywhere. Soul on Soul with Phinesse and Teddy Bryant.
attention. Oops, did I say that out loud? You can be my vanity, I'll be your cloud crowd. It's cold at night without someone to love. We left to no goodbyes. Your memories are too old. I rarely think of anyone as much as I do you. When I'm in my room alone, I still smell your perfume. Being alone is crazy with you running through my mind. You may not believe it, but I'll get you next time. I wanna be right next to you to show you that I care. If only I can see you and get you out my head. I can only say that I'm so into you. Think about your often, girl, what I'm gonna do. Sitting here praying that you be with me. Are you lonely? Cause I'm lonely too. I can only say that I'm so into you. Think about your often, girl, what I'm gonna do. Sitting here praying that you be with me. Are you lonely? Cause I'm lonely too. You know that there's chemistry inside. Cause when you step up that stage, we had contact through the eyes. The fans want to adorn you, but you kept me through your gaze. I guess it's heaven, cause I finally found the place. Yeah, as with you and your limo, you smiled and winked at me. Girl, that's when I knew you were where I want to be. If I can just approach you, then ecstasy you'll find. I'll protect you from all evil. Just give me a moment of your time. Being alone is crazy with you running through my mind. You may not believe it, but I'll get you next time. I wanna be right next to you to show you that I care. If only I can see you and get you out my head. I can only say that I'm so into you. Think about you often, girl, what I'm gonna do. Sitting here praying that you be with me. Are you lonely? Cause I'm lonely too. I can only say that I'm so into you. Think about you often, girl, what I'm gonna do. Sitting here praying that you be with me. Are you lonely? Cause I'm lonely too.
Well, before we end the show, I gotta let Teddy come on because it's been such a great interview because it's been very truthful. And I love when people really know what music is all about. Teddy, I want to say congratulations because you signed a label deal. You have a new deal. Talk about how that is going and how is that working out for you as an independent artist?
For me, it's working out wonderful because the person that I approached was such an amazing, humble-minded young man. He goes by the name of Onra. If you're on Instagram, it's at ONRA. He is a gentleman out of Paris, France, and he and a friend by the name of Olan. They have a label called Nothing.Net Records. I approached him because I was very impressed with somebody you may want to check out if you don't know. His name is Devin Morris. He's an extremely talented musician. His music will remind you of the old 90s music. But nonetheless, I saw his music. I was like, look, whatever this guy is doing, I need to do because his music was so clean, you know? So I found out who was over his management, and I got in contact with Anra, and almost immediately we hit it off. And I had already released the album. Anra was following me and was just listening to the music. And then when the day I released it, he called me or he hit me on Instagram, and we talked about, re-releasing it, having them remaster it and everything under their label. And the deal was amazing. It's basically a great distribution deal. And these guys respect the morals that I have as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. So I can't thank Ara and Olan enough, and the entire team at Nothing.Net Records. They've been so nice to me. I couldn't pray for more. So some advice that I would give anyone going through a label situation: just make sure you read the papers they send over very well. And that's what I did. I had, a friend of mine who's been in the business for a very long time out of the UK go over the papers for me. And she was very surprised at what she saw. And she's like, this is a no-brainer. And so from there, I took it forward and I signed the papers, and, you know, the album released October 22nd. So yeah, man, it's an amazing feeling to finally get the music that I've been doing for years out to more people. It's hard as an independent artist, man. And you got these gatekeepers who don't want to let nobody in. You know, they get upset if you contact them, and, you know, but that's why I was very, very humble whenever Anra approached me. And I was very well pleased with, you know, all they had to offer. So yeah, man, it's a really dope thing. And if you have the privilege to be involved in something like that, you know, definitely look over the contract, talk about it with those who might know a little bit more about it, and then, you know, make your decision. But whatever you do, be yourself. Be yourself. Phinesse has heard enough music that sounds the same. I've heard enough music that sounds the same. And I'm not saying these artists aren't great. I'm not saying the artists aren't talented. Some of these artists are more talented than I am. And that's why it's like, it's kind of weird why they would want to sound exactly like somebody that's already out. So I would just say, be yourself, and these labels will come knocking at your door.
All right, man. Teddy's been for real. I'm sorry we got to end, but we got to have you back. And you know, we already working on bringing you up to Baltimore, Atlanta to do shows.
Let's go.
When we take this Soul on Soul with Phinesse on the road with My Soul Radio, we'll be ready to go. So, you know, you family, you know, we brothers, like you said, we brothers for life. So you already know what time it is, my brother.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, man.
That's going to do it for this edition of Soul on.
I have to shout out one more person because she'll kill me if I don't. My wonderful wife.
Okay.
Andrea Bryant. If it wasn't for her, this is not happening. So she puts up with me, and she really helps me out in my music videos. Please go to my YouTube page and check out my music. It's Teddy Bryant on YouTube. Also, I want to shout out my mother, my lovely mother, and my lovely father. My mother is the face you see on the front cover of the album. It's an old picture from the 70s. So I love you, Mom. Her name is Emma Bryant. Yeah. You mean everything to me, and that's what it is. So I'll let you go. My bad, brother.
Yeah, I'm waving because, you know, we in the studio, so people walking down the hall as well.
Oh,
okay. But, you know, Teddy, we're going to chop it up, you family. So anytime you got some new music, and like I said, we're already working on doing the show with you, come and do some live stuff. Wishing you nothing but the best. Tell the family we said hello, and we'll see you, and we'll be getting together real soon. I'll hit you up.
Yes, sir.
That's going to do it for this edition of Soul on Soul with Phinesse. You know how we do. Always every Sunday night at 10 p.m. mysoulradio.com. Make sure you follow them on social media as well as Soul on Soul with Phinesse. Until we meet again next Sunday at 10 p.m. or you go check out the podcast. And thank you for everyone that's been listening to the podcast. It's truly amazing. That was something we didn't see. So we're really touched and honored that you're listening to it. Continue to support independent artists like Teddy Bryant and all the other ones we had on the show. We'll meet again next week. Soul on Soul with Phinesse. Peace.
Picture me and you flying through and true. I dream about you every day. So when you close your eyes tonight, think of me. Every time I go to sleep, I dream of you. I dream of you. Every time I go to sleep, I dream of you. I dream of you. Every time I go to sleep, I dream of you. I dream of you. Every time I go to sleep, I dream of you. I dream of you. I can't believe that you are near me. We seem to fly above the stars. Above the stars. Oh, when you're with me, what could your fears be? Could be afraid. We'll build a castle in on Mars, Mars, Mars. She said, this is the day that you come around and you play. I can finally see that you mean me. Taking all this time to love and get unwind. Take it out on me, girl. We can finally be free. I wish to be right where you are. Don't go away. Dreaming helps me to finding you there someday. I wish to be right where you are. Don't go away. Dreaming helps me to finding you there someday.
Solo and Soul with Phinesse. 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 This has been another Soul Media production.